We've got Benjamin with us from Alabama. How you doing, Benjamin?
Hey, is this popularity?
Benjamin, can you get a little closer to your mic? It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, yeah.
Yes.
Benjamin,
well, I'm literally having to hold the phone up to my mouth, so I don't know if it's my microphone or what it is, but
that's how phones work. So you said here that you wanted to talk about Lucifer and that you're a theist, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. And what's on your mind today?
Well, I'm kind of debating becoming an atheist, but I'm still clinging on to the God thing. I mean, I think he's an asshole, but I'm more of a Gnostic, and I thought about just talking about the history of Lucifer, just in general, like the Inferno book and stuff like that, where the horns and crap came from and all that. And I know y'all probably know all that already, but I guess I guess I could talk about the pros and cons of becoming an atheist.
Well, I mean, we're already atheists, so you don't need to convince us. We're trying to find people that want to put up a robust discussion as to why we shouldn't be atheists. I mean, we can get you over that finish line.
Yeah, we might help Benjamin decide whether he wants to go all the way. So what do you think the pros and cons are?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, if I become an atheist, that means I wouldn't believe in an afterlife.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything I do on Earth would just be, that's all, you know, I wouldn't really,
So Benjamin, here's a question. Do you care whether or not what you believe in matches reality, or do you, even if there is no afterlife, would you rather still think there is an afterlife for the sake of feeling the meaning that it gives to you and the sense of like let's say, for example, there is no afterlife, okay? If there is no afterlife, would you rather have a belief that matches reality, or would you rather still believe in an afterlife even if there wasn't one, for the emotional feeling of safety and security and meaning that it gives you in a world that there is no afterlife?
I would believe in an afterlife. I think I told you about this before, and you mentioned to me about how our perception can trick us, and that was a while back. But because I remember that conversation.
But answer my question. Do you want your beliefs to match reality, or do you want beliefs that makes you feel good regardless of matching reality? Like, what's your goal here? Let's identify your goal, right? Do you care about actually knowing, like having beliefs that are closer to reality or not?
Well, I don't have no way to really. Well, I mean, I've died before and saw stuff, but I don't know if that was my brain tricking me or not. I would rather believe in an afterlife to make me feel comfortable, but I still think. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would believe in an afterlife to make me feel comfortable, I guess, but I mean, that's not the only belief I have. I mean, most of my other beliefs match reality, so.
Okay, do you want this one to match reality or not? Do you want, like, let's say there is no afterlife. Would you prefer to be fooled into believing in an afterlife, or would you want to know the truth? Let's say in the world that we live in, it's a world without an afterlife. Once you're dead, you're done, right? Would you prefer to be fooled and believe that there is an afterlife, or would you prefer to know the truth?
Well, I would say that I would rather believe there is, but if there isn't, I'd be pretty pissed about it. But But
so you rather be fooled. You rather be fooled because of the sensation that gives you, right?
Kind of.
Okay, so you're calling us to figure this. Yeah, go on.
I'm still living on Earth as if there is no afterlife, because for all I know, the world could end, like COVID and all that crap that happened. I mean, I don't know when the world's going to end necessarily. And, I mean, I try to live every day like my last, or at least the best I can.
What is the emotional security that you get from believing in an afterlife? Like, why do you think, like, believing, what sensation does that give you that you prefer to believe in it if there is an afterlife?
Well, it's more because a lot of my family died, and so I prefer to think that they're still with me in a sense. But
I understand. I completely understand.
So for me, me personally, at least, if I died today or whatever, I would at least die knowing that I had a good life, but
yes,
or at least a decent one. But I don't know if there is an afterlife or not.
What? Right, that's what I want to know about, like, because it's assumed that there might be a God out there. I mean, obviously we have no evidence for it, but even if there was, that wouldn't necessarily mean that there's an afterlife. It very well could be just a God out there that thinks that we're, like ants in an ant farm, and that's the end of it. So like, even clinging on to this idea that there could be a God doesn't actually get you to the afterlife. In fact, you could actually believe in an afterlife without God. You can have that belief. It could be just a naturalistic. It could be a naturalistic phenomenon. Yeah. Now, to be clear, there's no evidence for it, and zero. But what I'm suggesting is you've linked the idea of an afterlife and God together, and I don't know if they actually have to be linked. And I think you're saying that God must exist because I want to believe in the afterlife, but that's not necessarily true. And I think Armin and I would both also argue that neither one of those are in accordance with reality. And I think humanity is better off believing things that are true, not things that are comfortable.
Completely agree. Justin, but I think like Benjamin is the most self-aware, honest theist I've ever met. He's saying like Benjamin, I congratulate you. You completely understand that the only reason why you're holding on to these beliefs is out of an emotional desire to see your family members who have passed away. Like, you completely understand that this is not based on a logical, like, it doesn't make sense. This God that you studied seems like an asshole. None of this make any sense, but you are holding on to it for emotional reasons because you really want to see. It's just too hard to admit that you're not going to see your loved ones ever again. Like, this is very self-aware and very honest. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, it doesn't make it true.
I'm a lot more intelligent than the average person, but that's
and more honest, I would say.
Definitely more honest.
I mean, but yeah. But you realize that wishing, like, the problem is that the universe doesn't bend to our desires, right? Like, the things that we want it's not going to be true just because we want them to be true. That's the problem, right?
Well, my idea behind that was, if reality is, brain chemicals and things that we perceive, then if I die and my brain is still going for, whatever amount of time, then I would at least be able to see something. I don't know if that would be a good or bad thing, but, at least I would have some kind of activity after I die. I don't know really what that would be, but I know that
the brain chemicals
brain studies on it.
Yeah, those go on for only a little while, and then once the brain rots, there's no more brain. Like, the brain chemicals, for them to continue doing the chemical reactions, they require a functioning brain to do that, right? So without the brain function, like when the brain is When there's no oxygen going, once the heart stops pumping oxygen to your brain, you need the oxygen to be able to continue doing those chemicals that you're referring to. Once so it's not going to continue doing those chemical reactions. But Benjamin, given that this is more of an emotional thing rather than logical, I will tell you something that because my mom died from cancer, and that was devastating.
Yeah,
and a lot of people told me, yeah, and a lot of believers came to me and told me, like, wouldn't you rather believe in God and an afterlife, because that would mean that you get to see your mother? And I think a lot of people forget that this whole religion, it comes with a package, and so the afterlife actually comes with hell, right? It's not just heaven. So even from an emotional perspective, I feel so good knowing, it is devastating that I'm never going to see my mother again, but it's also so good to know she's not being tortured. It's also, do you understand how reassuring that is to know that there's a sadistic God is not torturing my mom because she didn't pray, she didn't fast, she didn't believe, she didn't go to the mosque.
Since you mentioned that, according to most Christians and the ones that I've spoke to, that I've had family kill themselves, I've had family overdose, I've had family die from cancer and all kinds of other stuff. And a lot of Christians say, oh, well, that's not God doing it, that's Lucifer. But originally hell was supposed to be for angels anyway. It wasn't supposed to be for humans. So, but...
the hell in the Bible, if God is omniscient, when he created it, he knew he was going to send humans there. So like you're quoting Matthew 24, but in Matthew 24, literally the same passage you're quoting from says that he's going to send a bunch of people to hell. Like human beings are going to be sent to hell, which means it doesn't matter who it was created for. The moment it was created, God knew he was sending people there.
If he's actually omniscient, yeah, and all-knowing, that's...
Yeah. And again, we don't if all of this is real, you don't even know. Okay, but Benjamin, let's say if any of this is real, we don't know which scripture is the right one. It could be none of them. It could be like something that nobody's paying attention. Like the thing is that if you want to consider this world to be have any chance of actually being true, you're basically the possibility of all your loved ones being in hell is there also. Right? So when you cross over the afterlife as something that you believe in, what?
I believe all of them's in limbo, not hell. Some people would say it might be.
You don't know, but I'm just saying this is just we're in La La Land right now, okay? We are basically in the world of magic and fantasy, right? So once you could say they're all in limbo, okay? A Muslim will say like, yo, well, they're not Muslim, so they're all in hell. A Christian could say, no, they're all in heaven. Or another Christian would like, well, no, they didn't believe in the right type of Christianity, so they're all in hell, okay? I'm just saying the possibility of them being in hell all of a sudden is also introduced if you believe in afterlife. So at least you could be, if there is no afterlife, you could actually be at peace knowing that, yes, they're not there, but their pain is also gone. They're experiencing nothing. They're experiencing no pain. Maybe you don't get to see them, but they are. And also, here's the thing: you had an opportunity to be with them. I think the healthiest way of looking at them is realizing how lucky you were to have that moment that you have with them, instead of being so sorry about the moments that you're not going to have with them. You were if you look at it, the chances of you being alive and them being alive, the odds of it is astronomically low. Like you were given, and you didn't get to be with them for billions of years before you were born and they were born, right? The fact that the universe ended up working in a way that you get to experience being with them for a while, that by itself is so precious. And I think you should just keep your focus on how precious that was, instead of what you didn't get. there are many opportunities for love and appreciation that so many potential living beings didn't get, and many people got it much less than they. Many horrible things happen to many people, but the fact that you love them so much that you want to see them again, that means you had something special there. There was something very special there, and you could celebrate how special that moment was instead of constantly being sad over the moments that you didn't have. Just focus on the moments that you did have.
Well, what else? Well, that was pretty much the only barrier I had to, I guess, becoming an atheist was, that and my surroundings. I mean, everybody around here is, God-fearing, church-going, yada, yada, Bible Belt, whatever. But my belief system is so far left field that nobody would really care what I believe anyway.
You're a heretic for most Christians.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, not even Gnostic, but just a lot of the other old religions was also prosecuted.
Of course, right.
Too, at the start of.
Yeah, so you're going to hell in basically every religion that has a hell right now. So I'm not sure holding on to this God concept is actually helping you.
Well, highway to hell. But, yeah. Well, see, I guess I'm pretty old, so that's kind of it's not really an old reference for me, but a lot of people, they wouldn't get that reference, but Nicky. But anyway, that was about it. I mean, other than that, and I don't know how people would react if I told them I was an atheist, so kind of putting it out there. I don't know. I'm not sure how to go about it,
Well, your personal beliefs are your personal beliefs. You don't owe them to anybody.
Huh.
And by the way, welcome to the dark side. We're glad to have you. Benjamin, you're one of us now.
Eventually, you'll feel comfortable. There will come a point where you're okay saying it, but don't let anyone force you into it.
Yeah.
One of us.
I'll send you an atheist coffee mug when you're in the club.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's not as bad as what people think it is, because atheism, and I guess it depends on y'all's stance. I'm not going to speak for every atheist. But for some, atheism is just the belief or lack of belief in the God based on evidence. If you take the scientific approach to it, there's no really good evidence for God other than the Bible. But the Bible, proves the Bible, and then you get into a whole loop on that, self-fulfilling prophecy and all that crap. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'd be better off just not believing in God. I'd still believe in an afterlife. I just wouldn't believe in a God. So,
sure.
I don't know if
that still makes you one of us, by the way.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Yeah.
So what do you think is worse, a Gnostic or an atheist?
Depends on who you're talking to.
Did you hear me?
Right. Yes, we can hear you. But go on. You go ahead.
Benjamin, really appreciate you coming up. We've got a full list of callers wanting to get in, but we thoroughly enjoyed getting to talk to you for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're a great Benjamin. Whatever you believe in or don't believe in, you're a great guy. Okay, just know that. Okay, so don't let anybody give you shit for what you believe in or don't believe in. You're a good dude.
Well, a lot of people judge me based on appearance and other stuff, and I tell people the truth, and then they say I lie because they don't believe what I tell them. So, even though I'm telling them the truth, but
right.
Yeah. Well, you don't need them, okay? If they
that was
judge you like
about
that.
it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So,
thanks for coming up. We
Call
appreciate
us
it.
again later, Benjamin. So we're gonna let you go, but call us again later if you have any updates for on your journey. Okay?